If you run e-commerce ads or work with clients, you already know how exhausting the workflow is. You write scripts in ChatGPT, generate product shots in Midjourney, bounce to a separate video generator, and then spend hours stitching everything together in a traditional editor. Every time a client asks for a tiny change, you're practically starting from scratch. Today, we are looking at Flova.ai. Flova isn't just another basic AI video generator or a generic wrapper tool. It is an AI-native video creation agent platform. Instead of juggling disconnected tools, Flova acts as an intelligent agent that understands your complete project context. It helps you plan, organize, review, iterate, and produce final e-commerce and UGC ads within a single, unified workspace. Let's walk through a real e-commerce ad project, from brief to final export.
Here's the Flova workspace. Unlike many AI tools that immediately ask for a prompt, Flova starts by helping organize the entire creative process. Instead of jumping straight into image generation, we'll first build a proper campaign foundation, because that's how real commercial projects begin. Rather than relying on a single prompt, we're going to provide Flova with everything it needs to understand the project, from the marketing objective to the product positioning, before generating a single frame. Let's start by creating our campaign brief. This takes us to project documents, one of the features that immediately makes Flova feel different from a traditional AI generator. Instead of only describing visual style, I can upload or create a structured creative brief containing the complete project context. For this smartwatch campaign, I'll include the product's premium positioning, its key selling points, the target audience, the brand's clean and modern visual identity, the delivery platform, the call to action, and the product display requirements that need to appear throughout the commercial. Now, Flova isn't creating based on one isolated prompt, it's working from the same type of campaign document that a creative agency or marketing team would normally prepare before production even begins. That gives the AI much more context to work with, and should lead to more consistent results throughout the project. Now that the campaign foundation is ready, let's start building the commercial. So here's the Flova workspace. Instead of starting with a blank prompt, the campaign brief we just created is already giving the AI a much clearer understanding of what we're trying to build. Rather than asking for a luxury smartwatch commercial, Flova already knows the product positioning, the audience, the visual identity, the platform we're creating for, and even the call to action that needs to appear in the final advertisement. That makes this feel much closer to starting a real client project than experimenting with isolated prompts. Now I'm going to ask Flova to transform this brief into a complete advertising concept. Within a few moments, Flova begins organizing the campaign. Instead of immediately generating images, it first develops the creative direction. It suggests a cinematic concept centered around premium craftsmanship, modern technology, and everyday luxury. Then it breaks that concept into individual scenes. The opening focuses on dramatic product reveals. The middle highlights lifestyle moments and close-up feature shots. The ending transitions into a clean hero shot with the campaign message and call to action. Before anything is generated, I already have a complete production plan that I can review and improve. That's a much smarter workflow than discovering problems after everything has already been rendered. Now let's move into one of the features I was most curious about, Canvas mode. Instead of managing the project through a long chat history, Canvas gives me a visual workspace where I can organize every part of the campaign. Here I can see my storyboard, the campaign assets, different creative versions, and the relationship between each scene. Let's make a few creative changes before we generate anything. Right now, the product hero shot appears after the lifestyle sequence. For a commercial like this, I actually want viewers to see the watch much earlier, so I'll simply drag that product reveal forward in the storyboard. Next, I want to compare two different openings. One starts with an extreme close-up of the watch. The other begins with a wider cinematic environment before revealing the product. Instead of deleting one version, I'll keep both. This gives me two creative directions that I can compare later, something that's especially useful for paid advertising and A/B testing. I can also connect the official smartwatch reference images directly to the storyboard, so every scene stays visually consistent throughout production. Rather than just organizing files, Canvas becomes the place where the entire campaign comes together. Now we're ready to generate the first key scene. But before clicking generate, Flova lets me review the prompt draft. This is something I think deserves more attention because it's easy to overlook how valuable it is. Instead of blindly accepting the AI's interpretation, I can review exactly what it's planning to create. For this opening hero shot, I'm checking 4 things. First, is the product clearly visible? Second, does the camera movement match the premium cinematic style? Third, is the brand tone consistent with the luxury positioning from our campaign brief? And finally, are the important product details actually being emphasized? Everything looks good overall, but I noticed the camera movement feels a little too energetic for a luxury commercial. I'd rather have a slower reveal that lets viewers appreciate the design. So instead of generating immediately, I'll simply adjust that part of the prompt draft and ask Flova to emphasize a slow cinematic push-in with stronger reflections and cleaner product lighting. Now let's generate the scene. The first renders are finished.
Experience the next generation of premium wearable technology.
Overall, the quality is strong. The lighting feels premium. The compositions stay consistent. And because the AI is working from the complete campaign brief, every shot already feels like part of the same commercial instead of separate generations. But this is also where I want to keep the review realistic. One shot immediately stands out as needing improvement. The watch rotates nicely, but the reflections across the display hide part of the product for a moment. For a luxury product advertisement, that's not ideal. Instead of pretending everything is perfect, let's fix it. This is where Flova's editing workflow becomes really interesting. Normally, discovering a problem like this means exporting the clip, going back to another generator, creating new prompts, rendering again, and manually replacing that scene inside your editor. Instead, I'll simply select this individual shot. Now I can leave a revision comment explaining exactly what needs to change. Let's reduce the reflections across the screen. Keep the product facing the camera longer. Slow the rotation slightly and increase the lighting around the watch bezel. Flova immediately updates the prompt draft for only this scene. Nothing else in the commercial changes. Now let's regenerate just that shot. Here's the original version. The reflections briefly hide the product. And here's the updated version. Now the product stays visible throughout the movement, the lighting feels cleaner, and the premium presentation is much stronger. That's a great example of why shot-level editing matters. Instead of rebuilding the entire advertisement, I only needed to improve one scene. That saves a surprising amount of time on larger projects. Now that we've generated several successful product shots, I don't want to lose them. So I'm going to save the approved smartwatch visuals into Flova's asset library. This means future projects can immediately reuse the same approved product references without uploading everything again. For brands managing multiple campaigns or agencies working with repeat clients, that can make maintaining visual consistency much easier. Every approved asset stays organized and ready for future productions. The final step is something I think demonstrates the long-term value of this workflow. Instead of only saving the finished commercial, I'm also going to save this entire production process as a skill. That includes the campaign structure, the storyboard logic, the luxury visual direction, and the production workflow we've built throughout this project. Now imagine next month the same company launches premium wireless earbuds instead of a smartwatch. Instead of starting from scratch, I can simply load this skill. Flova already understands the overall advertising style and production workflow. Now I only need to swap the product assets and update the campaign brief. Within minutes, I'm building a completely new commercial while keeping the same premium creative direction. That feels much more valuable than simply saving prompts. You're actually building reusable production workflows that become faster every time you create a new campaign. Now that the commercial is finished, let's compare this workflow with the way I normally build AI video projects. The biggest difference isn't necessarily the final video quality. There are already plenty of excellent AI models capable of producing cinematic visuals. What changes here is how the entire project is managed. With a traditional workflow, every stage is disconnected. You brainstorm in one tool, generate images somewhere else, animate them on another platform, edit prompts repeatedly, download files, upload them again, and hope everything stays consistent. With Flova, the entire production stayed connected from beginning to end. The campaign brief informed every creative decision. Canvas mode helped organize different versions of the project. Prompt drafts allowed me to review ideas before spending credits on generation. Shot-level editing meant I could improve one scene without rebuilding the entire advertisement. And once the project was complete, I saved both the approved assets and the workflow itself for future campaigns. Instead of spending most of my time managing software, I spent more time improving the creative work. That's a much bigger difference than simply adding another AI model to my workflow. I also think this workflow makes the most sense when you look beyond a single video. Imagine you're launching a new Shopify product. Instead of creating one advertisement, you might need 5 different versions for different audiences. One version for Instagram, another for TikTok, a shorter version for YouTube Shorts, a premium version for your landing page, and multiple variations for paid advertising. With a traditional workflow, every variation means repeating large parts of the production process. Here, most of the project foundation already exists. You simply duplicate the campaign, adjust the storyboard, change a few scenes, and generate another version. The same applies if you're working with clients. Whether you're creating commercials for product launches, preparing client proposals, or testing multiple creative directions before running paid ads, being able to organize everything inside one workspace can save a significant amount of production time. And in a commercial environment, saving time usually means being able to deliver more projects. So, is Flova worth using? After building an actual advertising campaign from start to finish, I think the biggest strength isn't that it generates better AI videos than every other model, is that it manages the entire creative process much more effectively. Starting with a structured campaign brief instead of a single prompt immediately creates better project organization. Canvas mode makes it easier to compare ideas and keep production moving. Prompt drafts reduce unnecessary generations by allowing you to review creative decisions before rendering. Shot-level editing makes revisions much faster than rebuilding an entire commercial. And saving assets and skills means future projects become faster every time. That doesn't mean the AI is doing all the creative work. You still need good ideas. You still need creative direction. And you'll still want to review the output carefully. In fact, during this project, I had to adjust one of the product shots because the reflections covered too much of the watch. But that's exactly why I appreciate this workflow. It makes solving those problems simple without interrupting the rest of the production. Overall, I think Flova feels less like another AI generator and more like an AI-native video creation agent platform designed to help creators manage complete commercial projects from concept to delivery. If you'd like to try Flova yourself, I've placed my link at the very top of the description. New users can currently receive free credits after signing up through that link, making it an easy way to explore the platform and experience the workflow for yourself. If you're creating YouTube videos, product launches, marketing campaigns, social media content, or client commercials, Flova is worth checking out as an AI-native video creation agent platform that brings planning, generation, revisions, and asset management into one connected workspace. As always, I'd recommend experimenting with your own projects and seeing how it fits into your workflow. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and let me know in the comments which AI tool you'd like me to test next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.